Hello, people. This is Bennyhillz back for another draft. Yeah, we're just gonna hop right in and see how it goes. All right, here we go. Well, this is a great pack. Two blue signets. That's always a good place to start. Volcanic Island, in my opinion, the best land in the set, or the best colored mana. Library of Alexandria is probably better. Flooded Strand is very good, but we got power. We'll take the power. I think Mox Pearl is one of the better signets. Mox Sapphire is certainly the best, but the white deck uses Moxen very, very well. It just turn 1 Thalia is so powerful, and so yeah, this leans us slightly towards mono white. It's also great in blue white control, and we're not passing any. I mean, we're passing a bunch of storm blue cards, so just a blue control deck. We're not. I mean, I guess the signets are really good for that. So we'll take this. We'll take this Mox and be happy about that and see where we end up. But mono white is the deck that this definitely lends itself best towards. Ooh. Pretty easy pick here, I would say. I love Teferi. I also just am a blue white control player at heart. So if I can ever find an excuse to slam a Teferi, I will. Mox Pearl is great. It's half on color, obviously. Accelerates this out. There's not really any good mono white cards. I mean, Sun Titan isn't great in that deck, so very happy to take this Teferi. Little sad to have just passed Flooded Strand, but we'll find a way around that. Big fan of this card. Okay, some interesting options. Guy's Cradle is great. Really powerful card, but I'm a big fan of Glenalandra. It's just it's great in all the unfair matchups. Even against aggro, it can just trade with a 2/2 and then hold off burn or something. It's splashable, so if we end up with blue being a little bit of a smaller color, then it's still not too hard to play, and yeah, really happy about that. If this wasn't in the pack, I would actually potentially consider taking Uro. I think Bennett is a strong combination. You have good interaction with the blue and the white, and then green can just apply some card advantage as well as some ramp. Turn 2 Uro off of Mox, and then turn 3 Teferi is really powerful, but yeah, pretty happy about this Glen. Okay, we'll take a Swords. I mean, Daze is good. We definitely play it, but Sword Splashers is the removal spell of the format. It's just so good, and especially if we're in a Teferi Glenalandra deck, we really don't care about the downside whatsoever. It's a semi-late Finhorned Elves, but yeah, there's definitely wherever we want to be. Funny to see both of these Elder Titans back-to-back, but we're taking neither. Ooh, well, there's that Thalia. Should we send it into mono white? The answer is no, because Elspeth is great. I love this card. I think it's pretty underrated, and it's just a great finisher in this sort of deck. This is a deck that really likes to have a lot of Planeswalkers. I'll basically play any blue and white Planeswalker I can in this sort of deck. The formula here is a couple counter spells, including Glen, 2 board sweepers, 2 spot removal spells, and then as many Planeswalkers as you can find. So we'll take the part that this is. Both of these blue cards are pretty good, and we would love to wheel either one, but I like Elspeth a lot in this sort of deck. Okay, I think we'll take this opportunity to get some mana. This isn't the best mana source, but hopefully we end up in just 2 colors, so we won't need fixing necessarily. None of the other cards are particularly inspiring. This card is good overall, for sure, but blue-white is not a color combination that really lacks creature removal. So, take this Chalice. Okay, Vanishing Light's a great card. Very, very flexible removal spell. The fact that it can hit Planeswalkers is really nice. Yeah, this is just exactly the sort of thing we want. Alright, this is a close pick. Unexpectedly Absent is a good removal spell, but I think we want to go with Dig. We don't have a ton of things that go to the graveyard right now, but it is looking like white is more open than blue, and so I think we'll find more flexible removal spells in white than we will card advantage engines in blue. And so we also just in general, this is a deck where you want to have really flexible white answers, and then you want to have blue card advantage. And so it's looking like we're gonna have more flexible white answers, and we will happily take this Dig. Oh, High Tide came back. Is it too late? The answer is yes. Also, the answer is Storm is a bad deck in the first place. I think we'll take the Concealed Courtyard. I'm not a fan of this card. Hopefully we're going to be playing Wraths, and this is obviously very poor with sweeper effects. And I think Esper is a pretty good color combination. So we'll take this on the chance that we open up an Ashiok or something along those lines. Sun Titan, I'm not a fan of, really. I mean, we don't have anything that it works well with now. It's good with Little Teferi, but we already have 8 good playables, and I actually think this is a great sideboard card. This is very... I mean, there's some matchups where you know the game's going to be very long, and so this sort of effect is good, and it just kills Storm sometimes if they're trying to win with Brain Freeze. So I think we'll take this. There's a world where we regret not having the Sun Titan, but I think I like this. Ooh, nice. Elspeth is a great late pickup here. Yeah, just if we can just go turn 1 Mox, land, Chalice. Turn 2, Elspeth. Turn 3 Teferi. Turn 4, Elspeth. Boom. Easy game. None of these cards are likely to be played at all. I mean, maybe we could end up with Stoneforge and Sword of Feast and Famine being good. I think Amiri Angel, actually, yeah, I don't think we're really going to be in an Amiri Angel deck. And there's a world where this sword becomes good. I think this is the best sword in a control deck. Just untapping your land is really nice. Definitely not a Thalia deck with 1 creature. Indicates great if we do end up with a Black Splash. And just the knowledge that Black-White is open is good. I guess we'll take this land. Hero Blade Hole. Actually, no. We're taking the Hero. It can just end the game so quickly. And so we're not going to start with it in the main deck, but there will be some matchups where they sort of bring out all their removal and their slow deck, and we can just cheese a win with a quick Hero. Alright, there is a Creeping Tar Pit, which would be nice for the Black Splash. But I think Jace is just a great card. We want to have as many blue cards as we can, basically. It's great with Dig. It's good with swords. Yeah, I think Jace is just a good card overall. Probably won't wheel anything from this pack. Maybe a Repeal, which we would play. I mean, Phantasmal Image is good with Sun Titan, but I think we just want to take the Jace here. But we'll happily take a Mystic Confluence. As I mentioned in my last draft, I just love this card. So flexible, good against combo, good against aggro when you're behind, just bouncing a bunch of stuff. The floor is just instant speed, draw 3, and it's good with Jace. Like, yeah, I mean, this is just it's not one of the best blue cards in the format, but that's just because blue is so good, not because this card isn't incredible. Really tough pick here. Fate's Fetters would be a nice thing to wheel, so we'll be on the lookout for that, but Spell Pierce is great, just cheap interaction, fuels the graveyard for Dig and for Jace, but Grim Monolith is amazing in this sort of deck. We can just go turn 3 Teferi, turn 3 Elspeth. This is at its best when you have like sort of sorcery speed, 5 and 6 mana plays that you can just ramp out really early, and this is looking like a deck where we'll certainly have that. And I also think it's good when you can untapping this is going to be not too bad, because there will be a lot of times where we want to leave up mana to either hold up a counterspell or bluff a counterspell, and then we can put that to use untapping the Monolith. So really happy to get this, and we have a decent amount of acceleration now, which is good. For the same reason, we'll take this Mana Vault very happily. Brainstorm Terminus is a good combo, and both of them are good on their own too. Terminus is fine. The first Sweeper is good, so maybe we'll wheel this, and Brainstorm is good, but yeah, I mean, if we can just consistently have a Mana Rock on turn 1 or 2 into a Planeswalker on turn 3 or 4, that's a winning formula. Wow, okay. Upheaval. We have a surprising amount of artifact mana. I generally don't love Upheaval in these sorts of decks, but we have some mana for it. But I do also love Basalt Monolith, and I also think they're very strong together. Ah, man. There's a slim chance we could wheel the Upheaval. Like, clearly, we have a lot of the artifact mana and a lot of the blue cards, so it's like not the most likely that someone also has a lot of artifact mana and blue cards. Let's take the Upheaval. It's pretty fun and pretty good. I mean, we already have a lot of this effect. I think we'll go with the Upheaval and start prioritizing mana even more highly. Okay, we'll take a Jace. This is a good card advantage engine. We want to have Planeswalkers, like I've said, so adding a 4th is solid. At this point, a board sweeper, like a creature board sweeper, is one of our highest priorities. So that's definitely something we will prioritize. Parallax Wave isn't great in our deck when we don't really have any of our own creatures to abuse with it. Flicker Wisp is not really where we're at. Wear Terror is not great when you can't cast the red half. I guess we'll take the Parallax away. There's going to be some matchups where just stalling is really important. Beautiful. Okay. Really, really happy to get this Day of Judgment. Yeah, we'll slam this. Okay. Not a great pack here. I'm not a huge fan of this Angel. Especially when the buff is not that relevant a lot of time. I think we'll take the Mazavith. I think this card is pretty good with Planeswalkers. Depending on how the rest of our deck looks, it may or may not make the main deck, but definitely a reasonable sideboard option to have. Okay, we'll also take a Blast Zone. None of these other cards are looking very inspiring, and Blast Zone can be pretty good in some matchups. I'm not a big fan of gifts. This is not the worst gift deck, but I think Brimaz is actually pretty strong, especially if we get Caracas. Then it becomes great, but it's just going to be really good against some of the sort of aggressive decks. Ideally, we don't main deck it, so I'm going to optimistically put it over here, but yeah. Terminus is not the best sweeper. I think I'm actually going to take Linvala. Again, if we get Terminus, or rather Caracas, it'll be really sick to just have a couple legends, and this is amazing against mono green. I guess we'll take the GT. It's sort of looking like we can have a sort of semi-transformational creature sideboard against some matchups. Like, we could honestly maybe even just board into like a big mono white deck against like mono red. This is a good start though. I would love some counter magic. That's the biggest thing this deck is lacking. That being said, I will never complain about on-color mocks. That's pretty sick to have 2 on-color mocks, and this upheaval is actually looking pretty good. Golos is nice. Although I guess we don't really have stuff for it, but certainly taking this Mox, there's no real question. Like, maybe Wheel Thraben Inspector or Relic. I actually like Relic quite a bit, but yeah, obviously, easy Mox. I love Sphinx's Rev. I just think this card is sweet. I love blue-white control. We have a lot of artifact mana, so we're a good deck for it. But there is a chance of Wheels, and Preordain is just very good. My heart is telling me to take Sphinx's Rev. My brain is telling me to take Preordain. My brain is also telling me that Rev might wheel, and Preordain never would. Yeah, I think the discipline pick is to take this Preordain here. Really, really would love to wheel this, though. It's great with Mana Vault and Grim Monolith. We have Moxen, but I think this card is just really, really powerful. So hopefully we can get that Rev on the wheel. Pack 2. Alright. Really happy to take a Caracas here, actually. This card is amazing. Like, there's some matchups where it just destroys them. Like, against Reanimator, if their plan is to put, like, a Shieldred or something into play. I mean, Rizzlebrand is okay against Caracas, but still not great. Like, this is a great defensive card, and we have some offensive work with it, too. It's a bummer that we just passed a Venser. That's probably the best use of Caracas, but that's fine. Oh, well, there's a Stoneforge, but we're definitely taking a Hallowed Fountain. We don't have any fetches, so that's a little bit unfortunate. Makes this worse than it would otherwise be, but we could still get some fetches, and even if we don't, like, we have 18 cards that we would be really unhappy to cut. It's very unlikely we're going to get at least 4 more. Like, we'll just take the land here. I do like Gideon a lot. I think there's a good chance it'll wheel. White is clearly open. So we should probably just take this Colonnade. It's like, this is, in my opinion, the best dual land, like, or at least blue-white is the deck that needs a dual land the most. Creeping Tarpon might be a bit better. But I just love Celestial Colonnade. This is reminding me of all my modern blue-white control days. Alright, we have a Monastery Mentor, which is not bad. And then also an Oblivion Ring. And that's probably better, I think. This just interacts. We have win conditions in the form of all these Planeswalkers. I guess Oblivion Ring and Banishing Light are bad with Upheaval. So there's that. Actually, yeah, that's a very relevant consideration. Oblivion Ring is much better, because there's some situations where you can Oblivion Ring your own thing, and then Upheaval and start with whatever you O-ranged and play. Not really any consideration of Spellseeker here. We have 2 hits, and, like, they're good, but a 3-mana sort of 2-for-1 is not that inspiring. I actually think I'm going to go with the Mentor here. We have a lot of non-creature spells, obviously, so it works pretty well. And then, I would love to get this Windswept Heath, but We don't have much cheap counter magic at all. We don't really have enough blue cards for this to be at its best, but I still think we should take the Force. Like, it's reasonable just as a card to hard cast, and sometimes, like, we'll have an upheaval that we don't want, so we can pitch it. Why? No one who's playing red should let this happen. Brain Freeze is actually a good sideboard card. Well, so Brain Freeze and Brightling are both good sideboard cards. This is a sideboard card against Storm. Sometimes they'll just be storming off and play cantrip and you can just kill them. And this is a good card against aggressive decks. There's definitely more aggressive decks than Storm decks, and it's also decent in the control mirror, so I think this is a little bit more versatile, but not a card we really want to play in the main deck, ideally. Inspector versus Relic is interesting. I think I'm leaning towards the Relic. Graveyard Hate is surprisingly versatile. We don't really have many ways to use the graveyard ourselves, and so I think I'm pretty happy with this. Condemn is also reasonable, but it's just, like, those decks aren't usually that great. I would just rather have my own proactive things often against them. We did it. Boys and girls, we have done it. Okay, this is actually a reasonable card here. We have one black source, so we can flash it back. I think we'll take this. There's some matchups where just having stuff to block 1/1 flyers is huge. Okay, I actually like Moat quite a bit in the board. Not a card we really want to main deck, but yeah, I don't think the Stoneforge is really where we want to be. There's some matchups where they really are relying on attacking on the ground. Oh, wow. Okay, Gideon is an amazing wheel. That's perfect. Just the sort of thing we wanted. So now we have, I think we have our deck here. Do we want this Gideon? Interesting. We actually might. No, actually, I think we don't. I think we'll run this. 17 lands and 2 Moxen is a lot of mana sources, but we have card draw and we want mana, so I think that seems reasonable. And then we got Hallowed Fountain, Karakas, Celestial Colonnade. Do we want to play a Blast Zone or Mazavith in the main deck? I don't think we want Mazavith. Blast Zone does seem okay. We have decent mana. Yeah, we'll throw in a Blast Zone. So we have 13 basics to add now. We're pretty even on blue and white, and we have 1 Karakas, so I think we honestly might just want to go 7-6. Play, that's 10 sources of each, counting the Moxen. We'll see what they suggest. They'll, I guess, maybe suggest an extra white, but, oh no, they agree with me. Alright, I think this seems pretty good. Yeah, we'll run this. I would give this deck 7 out of 10. If we had 1 or 2 cheap counter spells, I could easily become a 9. But we are a little bit light on counter magic, so we will do that. First pick, Mox Pearl. This was 2-1 and to 7. Oh, another thing I didn't think about at the time, but when we were deciding between Brightling and Brain Freeze for the board, we already do have tech against Brain Freeze, so I think that's fine. Great hand. I'm very, very happy with this. No artifact mana, but great interaction, a cantrip, I guess 2 pieces of interaction, and a solid win condition. It's possible we should be playing Brightling in here. I think that card is actually not terrible in control decks, where you can sort of just like control the board and slowly eke out advantage with Brightling, but there's some matchups also where it's just pretty weak, so we'll lead on Island Relic and hope we're playing against Reanimator. If they play like Forest Elf, we'll probably just cantrip this Relic. Like, it's unlikely to matter, but alright, against Pluto Delta, Relic could actually be a pretty good piece of interaction. In general, I just use Relic immediately every time I have a chance and they have a card in their graveyard. Like, all that can happen by waiting is they have more options to exile, and I really think at its core, Magic is a game of options, minimizing your opponent's options and maximizing your own, which is why blue is good. Oh, are they just going to reanimate something through our turn 1 Relic? Jeez, this is a good turn 1. So if they take our swords, that's scary, because that means they're going to do something Broken, probably. Oh, no. Oh, okay, that's fine. So that's card advantage for us. We gained a card, and they have no real pressure. I'd imagine they're probably taking Preordain. Yeah. So hopefully we draw a piece of art. I don't know. I don't really know what I hope we draw. Not an island. If we're going to draw land, at least it should be a white source. No rush to crack this relic. We could just do it. But if... Oh, okay. That makes it a lot scarier. I thought they were just black-red at first. What is this? Another freebooter effect? Okay, Signet. That's fine. I don't think we need to crack this. We're not really in any rush to do anything. Okay, that's a pretty good draw. Actually, that's a really good draw. We can just get the 2-for-1. I mean, it does set us back on mana, but I still think that's okay. Like, we're not that close to Elspeth either way. Most likely, we're just going to be leveling this up and then next turn blowing this up in their upkeep. Get back our Preordain. That's nice. I think it is worth upkeeping in case they have like a 5-drop or something. Nice. That's a great draw. We'll just play... Actually, no. We will play Plains in case they have like a Hymn to Torok type thing. Well, so far it's looking like a good call to play this Blast Zone. Obviously not ideal to set us back at land, but I think just taking a clean 2-for-1 is a solid option. Swamp go. Nice. Alright, we will relic away this. Okay, this is officially enough lands. No need to draw any more now. Mox would be interesting if we find this off the Preordain. Okay, I don't think we want Caracas, even though it can be really good sometimes. We don't know their deck well enough to say if that's like a high priority. But yeah, now we can just go Elspeth Tribal, and that'll be good enough against a lot of decks. Ooh, that's not really looking great here, although, who knows? I mean, if we find a Mana Vault, it could be. But in general, when you're way ahead on board, which we are, and we're only getting further ahead, you don't really need to upheaval. Wow, just go. I wonder what they have, like creature removal spells, their own upheaval, a bunch of 7-drops. There's some consideration to just pumping and hitting for 3, but we're not really trying to beat down here. Like, that's not, I don't think that's how this game is playing out. Feels good to be here behind these 2 Elspeths. No need to play anymore. No one has to play any spells from now on. I won't play any spells if you don't. Pinky promise. Okay, they are Reanimator. So the shields are down. Like, they can discard 2 things to that. So against Grixis Reanimator, or potentially just blue-black. We haven't seen any red cards. This could just be for like a Scalding Tarn or something. Alright, we'll do this, but then they'll discard another card, probably. We don't really have any sideboard options. I guess, actually, Linvala looks decent. I don't think any of the cards are good. Maybe Gideon. They can't pressure it super well. Okay, so... Oh, that's actually some tech right there. It's a 3/6, so we can't kill it with Elspeth. It's actually sort of annoying. Yeah. So... They have some pressure here, actually. They have a lot of damage in the air. I think we're going to play Jace and Mentor and just pass. Or, we will attack with everything. But this Jace may be able to cast Swords next turn. Delete one of these, take 5. I mean, even if they do kill... Actually, we're probably just discarding Upheaval to this Una's Prowler. I don't think we're really in a game where Upheaval is looking very strong. And that'll also mean that we can definitely flip our Jace. Thinking about where to send these. Okay, just attacking Elspeth for 3. That's definitely fine. We have a big attack on the way back now. It's good with Upheaval, but not great overall. I think this is a situation where we're just going to jump our Monastery Mentor. Or, no, we're going to jump one of these tokens. Because if they have a removal spell, we don't want them to be able to send it at the Monastery Mentor. Stay back, Jace. So if they just chump this token and take 8, 9, that's good. I mean, yeah, I think we're in a good position, even though they have Consecrated Sphinx in play. It's a rare sentence to utter, but I think we can do it here. We'll discard Upheaval. Ancestral, that's not fair. They could have gotten really slick and Ancestral us. And then they draw 6. Actually, I think I would have done that there if I were them. Like, at this point, when you're behind, that sort of play could actually be reasonable. But, yeah, this is, they're at 3 now. I think I like just flipping this. They can do their thing, draw 2 more cards, but they already have infinite cards. So, I don't even think we care about getting rid of this Consecrated Sphinx. I think we're just going to plus. We don't want them to be able to pressure our Planeswalkers too much. Mystical Tutor on their main phase. Okay. What are they getting? Terminus? If they have Terminus and a cantrip, that could be scary. Concession. Sure. So they aren't, I don't think they're like heavy Reanimator, it looks like, but they definitely are Reanimator, so happy to have this Relic, and we might want to prioritize that a bit more highly this game. Involves good against Una's Prowler, it's good against Grizzlebrand if they have it. We didn't really see a ton of their deck. Unfair that they have an Ancestral, of course. Is there anything that looks bad? I think a Sweeper is fine. Upheaval is probably not necessary. Honestly, this maybe shouldn't even be in the deck. We probably should have just taken a Basalt Monolith, but we'll see. On the play, we could potentially bring it back in. I think I'll do this exchange. Part of me wants to just bring in some more legends. Like, Karakas, but no, if we have Karakas, we're already going to win. And I don't want to dilute my blue cards too much. Maybe that's an argument for keeping this, but we don't really want to, like, dilute our deck too much for that. So we'll run this back. I think this should be a very good matchup. I mean, we don't have a ton of counter magic, but we have Karakas to deal with a lot of... Okay, yeah. I was going to say Karakas and then Relic. Glenn should also be quite strong. We haven't seen any counter magic, so that's nice. They must be pretty salty playing a Reanimator deck and seeing turn 1 Relic in game 1 and 2. But again, this card is just good. Like, it's good against blue decks. It's good against Reanimator, obviously. It's good against, like, it has sometimes a lot of value against green decks. Like, yeah, I just like this card a lot. And, like, the downside is just so low. A cantrip for 2 is not good, obviously, but, like, and most decks don't have a ton of really relevant turn 1 plays, at least most control decks, and so I'll even main deck Relic and Mono Red sometimes. Okay, a little bit flooded here, but, I mean, 6 lands, 6 drop, like, can't really complain. Now, to turn 4 Glen Elendra or not? Probably not. Like, next turn we can do Glen plus holding up Glen or Relic. And now that they have a blue, they might have a counter spell. So we'll just keep playing Drago. They also don't know, I mean, we don't have many counter spells, but they don't know that, so just seeing 4 mana, 3 blue, like staring you down. They're unlikely to go for any big plays here. Okay, that's something. Would have been better technically to do that in my own end step, but can't really imagine that matters. I do want to get it out of the way before they play another island in case. Oh, mystical tier, sure. Imperial Seal, that is brutal. Okay, actually, we did get punished for not relicking in our own end step, but I doubt that it'll really matter. That is just brutal. Good way to totally undo all your card advantage. If they Mind Twist us here, that would be bad. Duress, sure. Again, like, in the abstract, this is a more powerful card, but if they take this, that's scary, because it means they're probably going to do something broken this turn. But, I mean, they have 5 mana, none of it blue. Like, what can they really do here through a relic? Sure. Okay, that was a really poor sequence. Like, they definitely should just take the Elspeth for good and then take the Vanishing Light temporarily. Like, in the very late game, this card is just so powerful. Sure, you got your Imperial Seal. We'll see what they get. But we are definitely going to just slam Glenn. I wish if we drew a Mox, I actually wouldn't be too upset, because holding up double Glenn and or Glenn Relic is a lot of interaction. But we also don't want more mana, so after this next turn, Mox would be bad. I just want to address something that I've seen a lot of streamers, including some that I think are really smart, talk about. People always count Moxes as land, or Moxen as lands, and it sort of makes sense. Like, you definitely, the total ratio of lands, of mana sources to spells is important, but the point of a Mox is to get ahead. If you miss your land drop and play a Mox, you're not gaining anything. That could have just been a basic land instead of your like slam dunk first pick piece of power. So if you miss your land drop, it totally defeats the purpose of playing Mox. And so you really want to hit your land drops at the same time as playing Moxen. So in any deck that has card draw or like a decent late game where like you can do stuff with extra mana, like I don't think it's smart at all to cut lands for Moxen. I mean, obviously in this situation we're flooded. We don't want to draw either, but I just think that that's like such a common misconception that I see that sort of invalidates the whole point of trying to accelerate ahead with a Mox. They did just get an Imperial Seal, but I still think we're in a decent position. Like, search. If that's what they search for with Imperial Seal, that is not going to get the job done. That cannot outpace this Relic, which has really been just amazing this match. Obviously, we could have countered that, but I don't really see any need to do that. I think this was bait. They're hoping we tap out and then they could do something scary. Ooh. That, I think we do want to counter. If they just hardcast, if they hardcast Consecrated Sphinx, that would be pretty bad. And I do get the sense that they're stuck on blue mana, so I think we will Glenn this. And then, they could just Entomb, Reanimate, Consecrated Sphinx, and we'll feel dumb, but I think it's more likely that they need that for blue. If they didn't care about the Black Lotus, they would have played it first. They're playing their part to do that pre-combat so they can attack with... Okay, sure. Take their time for 7, coming right up. Hopefully we don't have to crack this Relic and make it cost even more, but we'll see. That's a weird deal. I guess they think that they're the control deck, but they're wrong if they think that. Maybe they're playing around Condemn or something. I guess that's semi-reasonable, but they're not respecting me enough if they think that I'm playing Condemn in this matchup. Best draw here would definitely be Teferi. That would just put the game away pretty quick. They kept the card on top. That's a little scary. Hopefully they don't have Shinobi here. I'm not going to block, but if they... Okay, nice. No Shinobi. If I had seen Shinobi and knew it was in their deck, I would potentially consider that, but I still think it's... Glenn is just really good. You don't want to throw that away over the slim chance of something bad happening. Alright, that is interesting. We could Swords and Elspeth, but then we're tapped out. I don't think there's really any need to do that right now. If we just attack and nothing really happens, we can just end a turn dig, or Swords dig. I sort of like saving swords for a better card, but I also really do like the idea of getting the Elspeth back. They keep on not putting cards in their graveyard, and they've played multiple tutors, but they're not doing anything. Okay, Grave Titan is good. We're definitely happy to swords that. They still get the 2/2/2s, and we cannot get our Elspeth back, so that's not great, but hopefully this dig can find us something. I think there's a good chance it will. They have days that would be pretty tragic, but I don't think they do. That is some gas right there. I think I just like taking Mox, Sphinx's Rev, and just revving for as much as possible. This could maybe matter. Oh, sure. I'll take an extra card on that Rev. I think I do like main phasing this, and then just leaving up one blue. Don't want to get counterspelled. So Rev for 6 feels pretty good. Those actually not great hits. I mean, Teferi's obviously great, but obviously 4 land and a Mana Vault is not really what we wanted, especially after we just cast our X spell, but I still just think like we're just really far ahead now. Caracas could also potentially be very good, and I mean, yeah, we need a way to deal with this board at some point, but we're at 24. Like, that 6 points of life gain is going to be very relevant here. So, I mean, they can hit us down to 19. Sure, that's not really a threat. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. Didn't miss much, though. They're still just Faithless Looting. Oh, Ashen Rider. Oh, no. Oh, wait. If they just reanimate those, obviously, we're going to pop this in response. Yep. I mean, we could counter it, but I think I like keeping this in play and just blocking it that way. So, I mean, yeah, we'll just go Mox. They're going to be so mad when they see our double Mox, and boom, 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 boom. Teferi. So hopefully we draw something. Oh, actually, this is sweet. We can block with Colonnade this turn. Ooh. I think we're just going to get this Mana Vault into play, and then just play Colonnade and pass. I think we are going to leave back this Glen, because the 1 damage doesn't really matter, and I don't want to chump block, but if that's the only way we can keep our Teferi alive, we will. For example, if they have a removal spell for the Colonnade. Although I guess we would probably just Glen that removal spell. Not a relevant thing, really, but I actually think we should not have played this Mana Vault, because now if we animate Colonnade and they kill it, we have to tap the Colonnade to use Glen. So we're actually just going to use Mana Vault to animate the Colonnade. So yeah, that definitely didn't really work. I think this is worth countering. Like, it fuels their search really well, and can also potentially steal some of our artifacts. Not that we really need our artifacts, but yeah. So they'll probably send all these, and then we'll kill the freebooter to get back our Elspeth. Or they might not send the freebooter. If they just send 2 zombies, then that's great. If they have a removal spell here, we're definitely not losing, but we're not winning by a lot. Actually, we might just be losing. But the thing is, we have so many mana sources already that we're very likely to draw some gas. Like, what? That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we only have 5 lands left. But obviously that's irrelevant because we got there. I think, yeah, we'll just untap this. Alright, that's a good draw. Wow, string of good draws. So we're going to get the Crocus into play. We'll start with playing Mentor. Then we'll get the Elspeth out. And we will finally play our Jace, which we can protect with Crocus since we'll be untapping it. And this game is certainly over. I like the interaction of Teferi and Grim Monolith. Just being able to use all your mana on your turn and then have a productive use on theirs. So we'll do this, untap, 2 lands. And yeah, it's pretty hard to imagine where we lose from this position. We have board control with the Elspeth. We have card draw with the Teferi. I guess we're a little low on cards in decks. Maybe milling out is our biggest threat, but yeah, that's not really a threat. Alright. Pretty easy 2-0 there. I think this deck is very strong. 7 might have been an understatement after seeing how it played, although I also do think just having Relic on turn 1 against Reanimator twice is going to make it feel better than potentially it actually is. But we have great win conditions. We have some solid card draw. We have great ways to control the board. Again, missing counterspells, but yeah. I mean, we still have some. We have 2 counterspells. 3, actually. We have 3. Glen and Mystic Confluence, you can't really count as counterspells. I mean, you can, but they're slow. They're not going to counter turn 2 channel, but hopefully our opponents don't turn 2 channel. And we also have a good transformational sideboard where we can just bring in a ton of white cards and go over the top of any aggressive decks. This is why I like blue-white control so much, because blue is the best color. You get blue, and it's pretty common for white to just be extremely open. And when it is, if you just have a couple good blue cards and then your choice out of any white cards, it's hard to say no to. And double Moxen in the opening end is also hard to say no to. We're most likely just going to be jamming turn 2 Glen. If they thought seize us, we sort of want them to take a Mox. I guess if they duress us, yeah, I think we're going to hold these. We don't want them to blow one of them up. Actually, I regret that. If they play turn 1 Thalia, that would be pretty bad. But against Mountain, it definitely worked out. Okay, this is great. Just turn 2 Glen, turn 3 Gideon. Boom, 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 boom. Pretty hard to imagine how we lose from this position against a red deck with Gideon coming up. What, run my Steamkin? Or removal spell of my Glen? Okay. So we are going to slam this Gideon, and then I kind of think we're just going to block with Glen. I think that's worth it. Keeping the Gideon's loyalty really high seems strong. And what we need to counter with Glen in general is going to be Sulfuric Vortex and Planeswalkers, but we already have Gideon, so we can pressure Planeswalkers and their life total very effectively. So I'm not okay. Yeah, they just conceded. Not too much to learn from there. I think if you gave someone a 5-minute crash course on how to play Magic, they could have done that. But sometimes that's just how it goes. And now we get to try out our plan. So let's see. Gideon seems not great. These cards all seem reasonable. Upheaval definitely seems bad. Dig Through Time is probably not great. We're going to be going down in blue, so I don't think we want Force of Negation. Relic is probably not necessary. So for that, we can bring in that. And then these 2 are fine. I don't think they're necessary per se. Do we have enough creatures for this Jite? I think we do. We have 7 plus Elspeth and Gideon and other Elspeth, so that's 10 basically 10 creatures. We could bring in Lingering Souls. Actually, I think that's worth it. Even just the front half is fine. There's a chance we'll be able to cast the back half. Oh, actually, we definitely need to go heavier on white here. I think adding 2 white is good. Oh, and we also want Maze of Ith, ideally. So we bring this in. Cut another island. How many blue sources is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's actually definitely not enough. So 7 blue. And then, oh, Jace Bellerin is not good. I don't think this Gideon is good either. So we'll do this. I sort of forgot I brought that in. In general, Planeswalkers that can't protect themselves are not great here unless they have an immediate impact that's very strong. Which is, I mean, just drawing the card against a really aggressive deck is not really that. We could bring in Moat, and in fact, we probably should bring in Moat. I guess, well, we have enough ground creatures now and few enough win conditions outside of it that actually I think we're going to just run this. Like, if they kill our Elspeth, we really don't have many ways to win without ground creatures. I mean, Glen and Linvala Beach is pretty anemic, so we could get Everflowing Chalice, maybe. Actually, I kind of like cutting Everflowing Chalice for... Oh, no, we want the Chalice. We have a lot of 4s that we would love to play in 3. Or 2 or 1, since we have 2 Moxie. Oh, wait, not 1, but 2. I really wish this deck had a Fractured Identity. That card is cream of the crop. I actually think there's a chance Fractured Identity is my #1 non-power card in the cube. I'm not confident in that. Actually, it's probably not #1, but it's really, really up there. I would take it over almost anything. If they play 1-drop, it's sort of interesting if we want to play Maze of Ith. It obviously slows us down a lot, but it could save us a lot of life. Okay, no 1-drop, so easy Hallowed Fountain go. Mentor became a lot worse when we brought in all these creatures, but I still think it's fine. I mean, their removal will be a little bit more taxed now. Even if you make 1 token off of it, it's decent. Okay, Bone Crusher. Yeah, I mean, Incinerate there is not a problem. Obviously, the best draw right now is a Mox. Imperial Recruiter doesn't hit hard enough to justify the Maze of Ith, so we're going to just keep playing actual lands. Interesting to see what this gets. I mean, if it's just like a young Pyromancer or something, that's not good at all. They could potentially have a Kiki combo. I do think this Brimaz will be strong. I hope they don't have a Flame Slash, but if they don't, then Brimaz can definitely take over the game, or require them to just spend a whole turn and a lot of resources killing it, in which case we can just play Elspeth. And that's the thing, like, you have so many threats that you just have to, in like these sort of mid-range white decks, Red has to spend so much time and so many resources dealing with one threat, and usually you can just follow up with another one. That's something. Alright, that's a great draw. Really, really great draw, actually. We're definitely just playing planes and passing, but pretty happy about that. Ember Shieldbreaker is good against us in general, but not good against our hand. And, like, if we draw an artifact now, that's fine. Most of our artifacts net mana on the first turn you play them anyways, so we still get something from them. Ooh, okay. That's good. So hopefully we can find an Oblivion Ring. Remember, we took this Monster Mentor over an Oblivion Ring, so if we lose this game, that pick could potentially cost us pretty significantly. I still think we're in fine position. So next one we'll play Brimaz. They'll minus their Chandra on it. And then the Chandra will only be at 2 loyalty, and Elspeth can maybe take over. We could also potentially play Mentor. We care about Mentor less. I guess if we play Mentor and then they have a burn spell in their hand, that's pretty bad. Because they can keep up taking Chandra and threaten to ultimate. If we draw an Oblivion Ring, we'll... Actually, no, we would just cast that. If we draw Teferi, we would definitely play Mentor. Because we wouldn't be too worried about the ultimate, but... Oh, adding mana. Interesting. Sure. Best draw is definitely Mox. If we could play an Elspeth this turn, that would be very good. Actually, bummer. It might have been right to just go Mentor Mox, make a token, but As it stands, I think we are just going to cast a Mentor. It's close. Let's see. So we play Mentor. They kill it with a spell from their hand and keep up taking Chandra. She goes to 6. We play Brimaz after that, and then they probably can't kill that from their hand. Man, this is close. I think I'm going to cast Mentor. If they don't have a removal spell in their hand, this is much, much better. And if they do have a removal spell, it's not a ton worse. Although I guess it doesn't even really pressure the Chandra very well. Although, no, it does. Yeah, I think we're going to play this. And then hopefully they have to Chandra minus on this. Obviously not great to just spend your whole turn 3 trading with a loyalty ability of an onboard Planeswalker, but no matter what we did that turn, that's what's going to happen, and Monastery Mentor is worse, so hopefully they don't have a shock. Oh, what? That's bad. That's so bad. Well, I wish I played the Brimaz now. That's not something I was accounting for. But we drew a decent replacement hand. I mean, losing the Day of Judgment hurts, and them getting this. Yeah, I mean that was a great play for them. I think we were basically even, now they're solidly ahead. Good to know about the Wheel of Fortune. I don't necessarily know if that changes anything in how we board, but oh, what? I really meant to bring in that Lingering Souls. And obviously it's incredible here. We have the Black Stars. They have 2 1 toughness dudes. So, big mistake there. We'll definitely correct that for game 3. If there is one, which hopefully there will not be. I do really wish we had a second board sweeper this game. Oh, what? That's just not... It's not what you want to be doing there with a Fire Blast. I mean, I guess they just got like a bunch for 1 with a Wheel of Fortune, but still. That makes me think that they drew a lot of lands and not many spells off of this, which is obviously what we want to see. So I think we're just going to preordain Banishing Light here. We definitely want to take the Chandra off the board as soon as we can. It's just going to draw cards and deal damage. I hope they don't add mana here. And then the question is, I guess, Concealed Courtyard versus Preordain, but there's not really any value in playing Concealed Courtyard. Literally, it's just a worse plane, since we forgot to bring in the Lingering Souls. And we have plenty of other sources. It's not like we need to save our untapped lands for key turns. So, we'll just preordain. Dang, okay. They do have... Hopefully it's not a 4-drop. Hopefully it's just like 2 bad creatures. Whoa, okay, aggressive. That's pretty strong. We'll definitely start with Preordain, but we're going to be Banishing Lighting here. Easy bottom. That was an Ancestral Recall. Okay, that was a great draw. So we're going to go to 5 here. And they might just have 5 points of burn. Like, we could definitely just die to that. But if they don't have... Well, that'd be a weird play to just Fire Blast our Monastery Mentor if you have that much burn. Like, you want to be pointing your 10 points of burn at our face. And so if they don't have much more burn, then Gideon and Elspeth can really take down the board. We don't have life gain to speak of other than Brightling and GT, I guess. Okay, Faithless Looting is fine. Although, it's actually probably pretty good for them. I bet they're going to discard 2 lands. Yeah. There's even a chance they'll play land, Faithless Looting, discard 2 more lands. Ooh, Rabblemaster. Okay. That's pretty good. Will they be able to kill? Yeah. Oh, no. They'll be able to hit our Gideon down to 1 now. And they'll hit us down to 4. So we're definitely pretty far behind. I really wish we had more board sweepers. no real value in playing that, showing them that. Man, it's so much harder when you don't have any moxen and they do. So yeah, they hit for 7. If they don't have anything in hand, Gideon will go to 1. And then we can play Elspeth and have 3 blockers and make them attack Gideon again, kill their Rabble Master. We'll lose our Gideon, but then Elspeth should be able to control the board pretty well. Jite, okay. That's fine. Actually, that's pretty good. That can mow through our tokens very well. One thing this deck is missing is some artifact and enchantment interaction. I would love to have like a disenchant or like something along those lines. I mean, we do have Banishing Light, but we want to be hitting Planeswalkers with that normally. I would say we're like 5% to win this game, just to set expectations accurately. I don't think we're in a very good position. Ooh. Okay. Really good that they didn't play Jite. Although Jite is good with first strike, so there's that. So this will become a 4/2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I mean 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, what? Yeah, I just miscounted before. Gideon's dead. And we're dead then. That was our chance. We need to get in there. Yeah. Alright, well, that's unfortunate. We're bringing in Lingering Soul. I think this should be a good matchup. Like, the Wheel of Fortune is really what did us in there. Wait, what? Oh, okay, yeah. So we'll bring this in, bring out... I think Everflowing Chalice, like... No, yeah, I think this is fine. We're like a little bit... I mean, Chalice is still decent, but I think all the rest of these cards are just a little bit more important. Jite could be bad. They do have artifact interaction and stuff, but okay. Beautiful, beautiful hand. So we're just going to run out this turn 1 Jace. Yeah, definitely turn 1 Jace. It's annoying that we'll have to shock if we want to Brightly next turn, but we'll see how it all shakes out. Actually, we wouldn't even want to Brightly next turn anyways. I think we want to have protection up for when we play that. So we'll probably just next turn play Kythian and Hallowed Fountain and pass, and then loot away this island. Hopefully they don't blow up our Mox, but even if they do, we got value out of it. Okay, so yeah, we'll just do this. Hallowed Fountain tapped and pass. We could loot now in case we are trying to hit Preordain, but actually, no, I think we'll do this. Like if they have like a Rabble Master or something, like Landmox Rabble Master, it's really nice to be able to block with the Jace. We're definitely in a pretty good spot here. The best draw would be Mox so that we can Mystic Confluence next turn and then really start moving towards flipping this Jace quickly. If they spend their whole turn dealing with one of my creatures, that's pretty great. Eidolon, okay. This Mox was huge. The fact that we could get so many of our cards out under this. Okay, we're going to discard the island. We definitely would love to draw another land. Oh, okay. I forgot the Mox Pearl is going to cost life. We're going to loot here. Hopefully draw land. Okay, discard this. And then I think we're just going to take the hit. Well, do we want to attack? No, we don't want to attack. They hit us for 2. That's fine. Oh, we could actually just play Brightling. But I think holding a Mystic Confluence is going to be pretty strong here. Yeah, definitely really happy to be able to deal with this. I don't even think we care about bouncing this Eidolon. We're just going to draw 2. Makes games a lot easier when you draw 2 Moxen, gotta say. So we'll probably be pitching this Mana Vault. We already have a lot of mana, and it'll cost 2 life. If they attack, we're definitely trading. Then we can flip our Jace. Okay. I think it's fine to just main phase loot here. Discard a Mana Vault. Play a Caracas. I think we are going to hit for 2 here. And then we will cast our Rattling. Take 2, but this can start threatening to gain 5 life, and it's completely unkillable. We can return it to our hand 3 times in a row if we need to. I should have given this deck higher than a 7 in my pre-thing assessment. I think I was overstated. I mean, it's possible we just have not played matchups where counterspells are super important, but we have 10 out of 10 mana acceleration. Literally 2 uncolored Moxen, and then Mana Vault and Grim Monolith. Like, yeah, I definitely should have rated this deck higher than a 7. Faithless looting, where you have to pay 2 life, is not going to get the job done. Sorry, Rodiel 33. I guess the one way we lose is if they somehow do have Twin combo, and specifically with Twin, because Caracas beats Kiki Jiki. Okay, yeah. They saw the writing on the wall there. Breitling pulling us through. Oh, really? That was not Breitling, that was a Moxen. Could have had most 3 drops there, and that would have been game for them. All right, on to the finals. Oh, lost a die roll. Hate to see that. Great hand, though. Love this hand. We do need a second blue for this Mystic Confluence, but we have a Preordain. We're on the draw. We don't need to play this ASAP. Avicen's Pilgrim. Okay, so I think we're just going to Swords this. Always Swords the Pilgrim, as the old adage goes. That was one of the worst draws in our deck, but luckily our deck's good enough that it's still not that bad of a draw. That's actually not true. It is not bad of a draw, but I'm not too worried about that. No play. Nice. So we'll just go Island Monolith here. I mean, we could Chalice, but next turn we can Chalice for 3, and then we can untap the Monolith with our Chalice and just have infinite colorless mana, which isn't great. This Blast Zone could potentially hurt us, like if we needed an island. Okay, it looks like oh, that's not good. All right, what are you playing? What 5-drop do you have here? Really don't want it to be Planeswalker. Oh, Elder Gargaroth. Okay. Really would love to hit a blue land here. If we could just bounce that and draw 2 in combat, that'd be amazing. Island. Oof. Okay, that's bad. Although, I mean, actually, we're going to have a lot of mana. Maybe it's not bad. I still think I want to Preordain, though. I think I want to find that blue source as soon as possible. Okay, we'll bottom the plains, top the island. Play land. Play Everflowing Chalice for 2. And untap the Monolith. And then we can honestly Upheaval next turn, maybe. Although, I guess they do have a Mana Crypt, so they have, oh, whoops. Why did I think that I could do that? That was stupid. It's not a Basalt Monolith, but that's still fine. We have, so next turn, they'll probably make a token with the Gargaroth, I'm guessing. So, I mean, we'll see what they do, but we're, actually could potentially be annoying that we don't untap the Monolith there. Sword. Wow, they're getting aggressive here. Okay. So they hit for 8, 12. They hit for 12. We are definitely going to have to Mystic Confluence that this turn. I really hope they don't make it 3-3. Okay, good. Drawing a card is not super effective against Upheaval, and we don't want them to have just more stuff. Hey, they get the combo where they gain extra life with a sword. Maybe that's why they drew a card. I really wish this was legendary. So pretty much no matter what we draw, we're just going to go land. Ooh, well, this has trample. That doesn't really do too much for us. So we're just going to pass and go confluence, bounce, draw, draw, presumably. Leaving up Caracas. We need to find like a way to deal with this in a more permanent way. Like sort of One Piece is actually pretty good. All our removal is white, except for this Mystic Confluence, basically. Interesting. Black, white. Wasn't expecting that. They have a lot of colors over there. Best draw would probably be Mana Vault, because that would set us up for a good upheaval. Ooh, whoa. Okay. Rory's Wake. Hopefully they don't have a double blue counterspell. Oh, I need to make sure I put this down in the game combat. That'd be pretty embarrassing if we let them attack and draw a card. Okay, that is bad enough that we are going to counterbounce draw. That's just so good. They have Spell Pierce, we just lose instantly. But now that they're tapped out, they can't even attack next turn. Oh, Rev. Interesting. So, I think we just want to take the opportunity to like, set up a good upheaval turn, though. Which means untapping on Monolith. Hopefully we hit a land. I mean, we could just Rev for 3. Land. Nice. So, let's see. Rev for 4 versus upheaval. With, let's see, we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 lands. So we have 4 floating. Then we can play Monolith and Chalice. Yeah, I think upheaval looks pretty good here. We can play a huge Rev pretty shortly after this upheaval. I mean, again, like with the Mana Crypt, they are pretty good at recovering from the upheaval. But even so, like, I mean, they can play turn 1 Sword. Like, they can't. Their creature costs 5, so they can't play that till 3 turns after the upheaval. Mirari's Wake, same thing. Blaststone is an answer to the Gargoth. It's a very bad one, but it does something at least. What are they casting? I thought they were just going to play Gargoth, but this is a huge thing. That is very unscary. So we know everything they have. Really, the only card that matters is Mana Crypt. Again, this feels like it should be legendary. It's an artifact, 8-drop, 3 colors. Seems very legendary to me, but oh well. Untap this Monolith, and then we're just going to slam upheaval. So we'll go Island, Grim Monolith, and then we can Chalice for 3. And we cannot untap this Grim Monolith, but that's fine. We can play Glen next turn, pitching Island. So next turn we'll go land, Glen. They're obviously playing Mana Crypt. I wish we could. Actually, I guess there's potentially some consideration of just countering their Mana Crypts, but oh, Lotus Bloom. That's actually a good draw for them. Rare that turn 7 Lotus Bloom is what you want, but immediately after an upheaval is the perfect time for it. So we know their entire hand. Come on, friend. I mean, I guess they're trying to save the life, but that's really not going to pay off for them. Yeah, that just instantly gives us the win. So we'll play Glen. We have perfect mana to hold up one blue. And then the turn after, we'll hold up Glen again and untap this, and then the turn after that we'll fire off a huge rev. Even like Dig is looking pretty good as well, but we're definitely colorless mana is the constraining factor right now. Pretty good turn post upheaval. So they have Gargaroth, Mirari's Wake, and lands, I think. Oh, and the mana card, obviously, but they won't have that for long. Yep. See, hopefully they don't have another good non-creature spell. They do not. So we'll play this. Oh, we almost have enough mana to dig plus untap Monolith. But if we have to choose, I think we're going to the Monolith here. Uro, that's good. That's actually really good. I mean, we can Crocus it, so the creature itself isn't good, but just being able to put a land into play is nice for them. Now they can Gargaroth next turn, which we can kill with a Banishing Light, but still just a pretty strong card. Cool that they have Oko and Uro. The deck looks sort of sweet. I mean, it has some bad cards. Like Sphinx of the Steel Wind is sketchy, but there's some sweet stuff as well. Dismember? Okay. Wait, that's actually awesome. Now we can do our thing. Yeah, we'll just dig and untap now. So we need a Planeswalker here. Ask and you shall receive. Ooh, Relic is actually interesting. Take out the Uro and just a lot of stuff. I kind of like... Oh, we should probably just take Gideon Elspeth. I think that's got to be the right line. Not worried about that. We're going to win before we get to that point in our deck. So, actually, maybe we should have worried about that because we will draw towards it pretty quickly with our Rev. Definitely want to lead on Elspeth here. We can just minus to kill the Gargaroth next turn, so they'll probably play Wake, in which case we can just Gideon plus... Oh, actually, they might be able to... They can do a lot of stuff here. But, unfortunately for them, I think none of it is actually going to matter. Like, they can Mirari's Wake and then Gargaroth, or Mirari's Wake and then Uro. If they just spend their whole turn escaping Uro, that's really not going to go well for them. And I guess they're thinking when they put land into play and stuff, but like just Crocus is just so good here. I mean, even like we bounce in and they still get to draw more cards and gain more life, but that doesn't really matter when we have an Elspeth going up. Like their life total doesn't matter because when we ultimate, we're going to have 1,000,000 damage. And like it's not like we're immediately after an upheaval anymore. Like we both have mana now, so playing an extra land isn't as incredible as it was earlier. So presumably, I mean, if they just play Gargaroth, we'll just minus the Elspeth. If they play Wake, we'll Banishing Light the Wake and Crocus the Elspeth, or the Uro. Yeah, I do think it's worth getting rid of that. We don't want to open the door to any Eldrazi shenanigans. So, let's see. I mean, we could just we could Elspeth minus and then Gideon plus instead of Caracasing this. I actually sort of like that. I think getting a second Planeswalker into play is pretty strong here. So we will cast this. Cast this. Actually, oh man. This might have been a mistake, because now we don't have a clean answer to the Gargaroth. Yeah, maybe. Oh, that was dumb. That was definitely a misplay. I think we'll still win. Like, I think we're in a very favorable position, but now they're going to get a attack trigger off the Uro, because I think we just want a plus. Honestly, this actually still might be better. Like, one attack off the Uro is probably worth getting a Gideon into play. And, like, we want our Elspeth to have as much loyalty as possible. Like, we want to ultimate it. So, if they attack, I mean, we could just double block, but I think it's better just to chump. Hopefully there's Gargaroth and they didn't draw anything else. Oh. Okay, Beast Within our Banishing Light. That's scary. Because that means they really want a lot of mana. They have one Gargaroth, which we don't care about, but if their other card is really huge, that could be scary. They have 14 mana, so they can't cast Emrakul, which, yeah. I mean, Emrakul isn't even that good. We can Karakas it, although that is still good. Hopefully this is their non-Gargaroth, and they can cast it with the amount of mana they currently have. Okay, so we can minus the Elspeth to kill both of their creatures. Oh, they're playing their last card now. Oh, Time Walk. Oh, Teferi. That's not a threat at all. Yeah, I don't get why they're prioritizing Mirari's Wake so highly there. They definitely should have killed Elspeth. You know what? They can bounce my Beast token, sure. So we'll minus the Elspeth, animate Gideon, and hit them for 12 if they bounce the Beast token. Or hit them for 11 and kill Teferi, rather. Hit them for 10, because we're also losing a token. Good that they put a land into play there. I mean, they have actual infinite mana now. 6, 7, 8, 16. Yeah, they can cast any spell in the history of Magic. Except red spells. And there's other stuff they can't cast. Phyrexian Obliterator. But you can cast a lot of stuff. That's my point. We can cast some stuff too, though. Specifically, we can cast Sphinx's Revelation. Alright, so they're dead next turn to our board. And we're going to fire off a huge Rev. No need to put the Blast Zone into play because we're not going to be using it this turn. We are going to draw so many cards. Always the fun thing. Drawing cards is just the best part of Magic. So we'll draw 2, 4, 8. Cool. We're going to have to discard a lot of cards in hand size. Whoa. Not expecting Mishra's Workshop. We haven't even seen a single, I guess, Sword of War in piece. And, okay, they have some artifacts. Wow. Okay, that's actually, like, the one thing they could have done. Yeah, I think we're just going to let this happen. I mean, Revving here, I mean, we could draw, no, we can't even cast Force. I guess we could draw Island plus, Blue Source plus Force, but. Okay, we got our Rev back, and we also got a Force of Negation. Man, Time Twister was a great hit for them. That was really nice. Hopefully, they don't have anything too broken here. It's a little bit rough that we don't have enough blue to force and Rev. Although we could also just Rev and then find a blue card and pitch that. Repeal Gideon. Sure. Artifact, huh? Big artifact. Hopefully something we can force negation. If it's like a walking ballista, that would be bad. That would be really bad. Sundering Titan. This is such a bad Sundering Titan deck. I mean, sure, like that's definitely fine with me. Do we want to Rev? I don't think we want to Rev, because our hand is decent. We don't really want to blow up a lot of our own lands. Or, that's not. We don't want to discard a lot of cards, is what I meant. So sure, you can kill 2 stuff, 2 things. We'll play Mentor Gideon, Mentor and Manivault Gideon, holding up Force. They could have killed their end value twice, but I don't think they're going to run out of mana, so very unlikely to matter. This has been a really crazy and swingy game. This is all post upheaval. The opponent's deck is sweet. They have some cool stuff going on. I think we should probably be relatively favored still, but they definitely have some things. I do think this Elspeth is just going to keep generating tons of value. Island is obviously not really what we wanted. So Plains, Mentor, Manivault, make a dude. Okay, so we have to tap our Grim Monolith. Don't think that's too relevant, but it's not my first effort actually. But actually maybe it is on a comment. And then yeah, Gideon. No real merit to swinging here. These Planeswalkers should just dominate the board pretty much, and we still have our Force. We definitely have lethal next turn if they don't do something drastic. And we're definitely going to tap our Manivault rather than... Oh, whoa, that is something drastic. That's really good. So they can monster... They have 2, 4, 6... Wait, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So they can monstrous for 4 right now. I guess that's not too bad, but it's definitely strong. Like, yeah, they're really putting up a fight. We do have an upheaval in our deck still, I believe. Oh no, it got exiled to... How did it get exiled? I don't remember how that happened. Oh, dig through time, right, yeah. That's a bummer. Upheaval would be pretty nice here. So they'll kill Mentor and the 2 monk tokens, presumably. So I was planning on just chumping, or potentially even just letting Gideon take 2 from the Fairgrounds Warden, but if they're going to be drastically reducing our board, I think we're just going to throw 4 in front of the Fairgrounds Warden to trade them and chump the Sundering Titan, and then minus the Elspeth to clear off the other tokens or creatures. Oh, what? You can't just leave me with a Mentor, dude. Come on. So the board is not a problem, but their hand could be. They still have 4 cards, and again, so much mana. So hopefully they don't have a ton more gas. I mean, if they have one thing we can force a negation, that's definitely fine. But if they have another, like if they have a Walking Ballista, that would be very bad. I think it's worth trading 2 of these bad boys for this guy, and no harm in just throwing an extra one for... Oh wait, no, there's harm, because we definitely do not want to lose our Gideon. And we also do not want to lose our Mentor. I would love to draw Teferi, just to be able to tuck the Mirari's Wake and not worry about any of those really over-the-top shenanigans. Obviously not paying for it to untap this Manivault, which is currently untapped. That's fine. Yeah, I mean, we're definitely just minus... what does minus even accomplish, actually? Like, we can just double chump also. That seems almost as good, if not better. Yeah, I think I'm fine with that. So, I think we're going to Jace minus targeting ourselves. I guess it depends on what we draw slightly. But, yeah, I mean, neither of these trample. Elspeth can just keep on plussing and making dudes, and each time we're netting one guy. Okay, yeah, we'll just plus. Pay for it, untap the Monolith. Play Colonnade tapped. And we could also just minus on the Sundering Titan, but 100 upvotes, that's fun. This is my first real Reddit post today. Do we minus? I don't think we're gonna minus. We want their guys to be tapped, right? It's a little bit close, but yeah, I think we want a plus here. There's also, yeah, we'll do this. So we can force pitching on Rev if we need to. Hopefully we won't need to. This has been a wild game. Still game one. Timing out is a real concern, so it's good that we're up on time. I do generally, I mean, it doesn't come up as much in Cube, but in Constructed, where I play a lot of slow blue control decks, I mean, yeah, we're doing that here again, obviously, too, but I do really try to be ahead of my opponent on time. I don't try and time people out on purpose. I think that's just, what's the point? That's not fun. But I will make sure I don't time out, and so being ahead of them is the best way to guarantee that. Okay, that's what we wanted. So we have a Force of Negation. Should we just go for the kill is the question. It's a little bit risky because, I mean, no, if we have 3D, it's still not that risky. Obviously starting with drawing. Okay, that's not really what we wanted. Not terrible, though. It does make a dude, at least. So our creatures currently hit for 8. We also do have a Colonnade. I think I'm just going to animate Colonnade and swing without the Gideon. I mean, I think we can't really lose this game, is my guess, but we'll just try and present lethal in as harmless of a way as possible. Which means keeping our Planeswalkers up as safeguards. I guess Resto, Blink, Polukranos, Monstrous would do it, but yeah, looks like we got it. Alright, really interesting game one. A lot of back and forth there. I think we were winning for most of it. I guess at the point when they had the Gargaroth and the sword, it was a little scary early on, but yeah. For most of that game, I thought we were in a pretty good position. So, Maze of Ith looks pretty good. They have some really big creatures. It's great against sword. It's not really good against Gargaroth, but at least it negates part of the effect. They didn't look like they had a ton. I mean, Linvala blocks Polukranos, not a ton else. They do have Oko. We need to worry about that, because that can definitely just really beat us down. I think we'll bring in this Maze of Ith and cut. I mean, Upheaval is interesting because their deck is pretty good at Upheaval. They have Mana Crypt, but I guess really they can't Mirari's Wake. Mirari's Wake is not good against Upheaval, although it is good with Upheaval. So that could probably stay in. But then what to cut? Relic is decent against Time Twister and good against Uro, and it's also just such a low downside card to have. We could potentially cut the Rev. If Rev is not great in a Time Twister type game, and we're on the draw, yeah, I think that's reasonable. We can cut this rev. Oh wait, no. Forgot they were adding a land. I don't think we need to go 18 lands. We're on the draw, so we'll just do that. No spell changes, and what to cut. I mean, our spell makeup is still the same. Our blue cards are probably slightly more important, but we also already have a lot of blue sources. Actually, we're cutting Blast Zone, I think. They have such a wide variety of mana costs, including most that are really high. Yeah, I don't think we want to have multiple, like, colorless utility lands that don't help us cast our spells very well. I think we gotta ship this. I mean, if I knew my top card was an island, I would keep, but we don't know that, and there's no need to risk it. Okay, we'll keep this, and I think we're gonna just bottom the double white card. We're just a long way away from Elspeth. We could also bottom an island, but, like, we want to be hitting all our land drops. We have a 4-drop in hand, like, yeah, I think this is good. So looking for white mana and interaction. Mox Pearl would be the best draw. Elspeth Sun Champion would be one of the worst draws. It makes me very happy I bought him the other Elspeth. Okay, I think we're just topping both of these. So next turn we can go Plains, Jace, and then we have a good curve of creatures here. Lotus Bloom, okay. They definitely do that for turn now. They would have suspended that on turn 1 if they could have. Now we actually will be able to Glenalandra on their Lotus Bloom, so that's nice. Actually, I think it goes to 2, we play our third land, goes to 1. Oh no, we can play our Glen, but we won't have mana to use it unless we draw Mox. Classic mana base. Forest Island Godless Shrine. That is actually sort of bad. Like, they're playing a lot of colors, and they didn't look like they had a ton of fixing, so the fact that oh man, that's not good. I'm sort of surprised they left this in. Like, we don't have a ton of creatures, and it's really bad against upheaval. But whatever. That was a great draw. Probably the best draw on the deck. I mean, well, Mox Pearl would have been better, but just a card that lets us hold up Glen for their Lotus Bloom next turn and gives us a token this turn. Primo. They don't have much removal. They do have an Oko, but they would have definitely played Oko that turn if they had it. And Monastery Mentor can sort of go off if they don't have removal. Hopefully, yeah, I mean, yeah, like, they can't really play anything that scary this turn if they don't have Oko. Repeal a token, sure. I mean, that's definitely good. That's a good exchange for them, but that token was extremely not important for our overall game plan. And they're out of blue now, which is nice. They should not have played their planes before doing that. They drew Oko. Oh no, I guess, never mind. They can't draw Oko and Island off of that. Okay, that's a reasonable draw. We will just jam this Glen. We've seen a lot of their decking we haven't seen in Counter Magic, so it's nice to know that we're safe on that front. We're definitely just going to counter this Lotus Bloom. They have a lot of creatures that are big ramp targets. Like, if they played Sundering Titan and put us back a bit, that would be annoying. So we cannot play Elspeth and hold up Glen next turn. We're probably just going to play the Elspeth, but it does depend slightly on what they do this turn. And, well, we draw. Like, if we drew Gideon, we would certainly just slam Gideon and hold up Glen. Oko. Okay. That's good. Definitely good. I do think Elspeth beats Oko in a 1-1 fight. Like, Oko is unbelievable when you're relying on, like, a couple main creatures, but when your main plan of attack is Planeswalkers, especially Planeswalkers that can kill other Planeswalkers, it becomes a lot worse. So, yeah, this is fine. They kill that. We can hit Oko for 1 and then play Elspeth. It is slightly annoying that Elspeth can't minus to kill the Oko tokens, but it's not the end of the world. Okay, that was a bad draw. Definitely a bad draw. We are very well set up against Time Twister right now. A lot of mana, good board. They're missing land drops, so Time Twister is, yeah, just really a non-threat. This is a big turn. If we get to untap with Glenn, then they still have creatures that could do some damage, but Elspeth can deal with creatures pretty well, and Glenn can deal with non-creatures pretty well, so we'll have our bases pretty covered if they don't do anything too bad this turn. Ooh, interesting. Just making another food? Definitely would have thought that they would animate their food. Now they don't really have... I mean, I guess Fairgrounds Warden can hold back the soldiers, but I'm so surprised by that play. Pernicious Deed. Okay. Well, that will kill their own food tokens. So that's not going to go as well for them as they want it to, I think. Kills our Mox too, but we have plenty of mana. There's definitely... And now, I mean, they have 2 cards in hand, and we have 1, and our 1 is bad, and their 2 might be good. They don't have spells, for 1, so that, or they don't have lands, rather, so... This is a close game. Oh, land is bad there. It might be ahead, honestly. So they can actually steal our Glen, which is sort of rough. But that would also be sacrificing their Oko, so I think that's probably a trade we're fine with. Also, if we control our Fairgrounds Warden, we have decent control over whether or not we get our Jace back, and if we do get back the Jace, that'll be nice. It's just another way to pressure them in a hard to interact with way. Also, again, they have 5 minutes. They have not won a game yet, and their deck is clearly pretty slow. Oh! Okay, yeah, we're just going to instantly Glen that. We do not want their guys to be able to swing through our Elspeth tokens. And Oko is basically just out of range now. Like, we can't really pressure an 8 loyalty planeswalker that gains super turn with our tokens. So, we're just going to rely on the Elspeth ultimate now. Or spells that we draw. We do have some spells. Okay. What are the pros and cons of playing this Mox? We have no, like, draw and discard stuff. I think we should just play it in case they play Time Twister. I mean, I guess, that's so marginal. Like, we'll have mana if they play Time Twister. Although we don't want to draw it, so yeah, I still will do it. Like, it doesn't mean they won't play around counterspells, but I still just, like, I think that's pretty marginal. Like, they're not really in a position where they can, like, play around our counterspells already, so I think we're just gonna run that out there in the case of the Time Twister, which, like, again, obviously you don't really want a Time Twister when you're behind on board, or when you're, like, I don't know, this just, yeah, we could use the Time Twister very well right now, so Time Twister is certainly not at its best, but when you're behind, sometimes you have to make some suboptimal plays, and this helps minimize the chance of them Time Twistering us, and us just drawing, like, 4 lands, 2 Moxen. So they're presumably going to just bounce a token here. Yep, we're willing to sacrifice one of these tokens to send them at Teferi through the Fairgrounds Warden. Why are they not making creatures? It's weird. We're flooding pretty hard, but I think we're still going to be able to win with what we have on the board. Let's see. Send them all at Teferi, but also 4 at Teferi. Doesn't really matter. They're going to kill 1 no matter what. I guess can't really imagine it mattering to have 4 tokens back. All right, we got there. That's pretty sweet. Oh, well, I mean, I guess they haven't conceded yet, but they verbally conceded, and I'm sure the actual concession is coming soon. We have a Elspeth on 7. That'll make 24 power in the air. Yeah, Mirari's Wake, not going to do it here. Nor will Solemn. Alright. Pretty sweet deck. Got the trophy. That's always gratifying. I love playing blue-white. I think it's just really good and really flexible and really rewards skill. I mean, we had some games where it's just like mox, play a thing, win. But there's like, in general, blue decks have a lot of choices, which makes them fun. And so, pretty happy that we made enough right ones to pull off the trophy. And thanks everyone for watching. And stay tuned because I'm planning on just uploading another one every day for as long as Vintage Cube is out. Just slamming this just because we can. Ultimate. Send in the air. Elspeth, what a card. Alright, thanks everyone for watching again. I had a lot of fun. Hopefully y'all did too. Hopefully you learned something. And yeah, see you again in a little bit.